Okay, so we're back here with my Kirby 514 that I restored. Now, a couple of the problems that we had with it before were the brush roll was noisy, and as you can see, the bearing on the one side is bad. So I've ordered a new brush roll for it. The other problem was that the emptor gasket, the base of the emptor, the seal was bad on it, and I had put this weather stripping on it, and it didn't really seal too well because I had gaps around the corners. So what I have found, this stuff here, felt weather stripping, that is approximately the same size as this channel here. So we're going to install this in here and see how that works. The other problem was that the emptor seal, to seal it to the housing of the fan chamber, was bad. And this is the seal right here. As you can see, it's kind of worn, it's stiff, and it really didn't do a good job. So I was going to make a couple videos showing the hose we have here. Now this is the original hose right here that my grandmother had with it, and it's all taped up. It's in pretty bad shape. Now this is another hose that I had. I was at a flea market and I saw a box full of old Kirby parts, and mostly they were just handy butler parts, and they were all for the early Kirbys. So I picked it up. It was $5. Figured, oh, what the heck, even if the stuff's bad, I'm sure I can find some stuff that I can use from it. But this hose was in there. There was also a bunch of other parts, including the handy butler unit, complete with buffing wheels and everything. I've got that downstairs still. It needs cleaned up a bit. But the other interesting things in it were these. Now this isn't original. It says it's from the Strap Kirby Corp, but it's not actually a Kirby suds. But as we can see, it's kind of solidified in the bottle. But it's a dry suds shampoo, and I guess it could be used with the rug renovator. This is another thing that was with it here, and it's for use with the Kirby Home Renovator. Price was $1.50, and it's basically a gauze pad, I guess, saturated in wax. And the other thing was this right here, a 4-ounce bottle of Kirby Sweet Air, and that would be put, this little screw would be removed, and a couple drops of the Sweet Air would be, there would be a foam pad in here, or a felt pad, and that would freshen the air as you're using your vacuum. So you can see here, it's kind of gross, but 4 ounces Sweet Air, the original air deodorant, and this was supposedly cedar pine scent, and this is the cap that would be put on the bottle, like that. Okay, so we're gonna get to work here. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Now I also have all the original attachments and everything in the Kirby box for the 514. Those are up at my parents' house. But in the box of miscellaneous Kirby parts, I found a couple of these. And what these are is this attaches to here, and you attach the hose onto here, to use as a blower. But I got to thinking, I've got a couple of these, plus I've got one with the original attachments, and this has a little rubber gasket in here. And I figured, oh, I'll try and see if this will work in the emptor. So we'll get that installed, but first we're going to make a couple videos with the blower attachment on here. So let's get that hooked up and ready to go. Okay, now the 514 has the motor safety switch right here so that the motor will not turn on unless there's an attachment or the brush nozzle on it. So we still have to put the hose connector on the front so that the motor will turn on. Now there is no gasket on here because, as you can see, the housing is tapered and so is the hose connector. So put this on and, well, latch it in place, but it's easier with two hands, obviously. Okay, now that that's latched on, the hose can either attach onto here and locks in place with this little collar, or, as we're going to do for this test, as a blower, same thing, goes on here and locks into place. So turn it on, and we have the blower. So now that test is done with, we'll get this seal installed in the emptor, get the felt pad on there, and see how she works. Okay, now we've got that in there, and with the aid of a small screwdriver I stuffed it down in, and as we can see I had to cut it in half because it was too wide, obviously. So now let's try this. Definitely a better fit than that old gasket. And I also have the emptor gasket, and that's held in by a little bit of rubber cement. So let's try it, see how that fits. Much better than the old one. So now that that's secure and sealed, we'll be able to try it out and we won't have it leaking all over the place. Okay, now before I go ahead and put the brush roll on, we're going to try it out again with the hose as using it for suction. So here we go.